John, let's start this week's midweek interview by referring quickly back to the last game, the home match against Brecon. Some would say we dug out a win there. What's your final thoughts on that?
No, I thought we thoroughly deserved the victory. I thought we were a better team. I thought we were the best team on the pitch. I thought we tried to play. It didn't always come off for us, but I thought we tried to play, and a lot did actually come off for us, and we did play well and scored a couple of good goals. Kevin anticipated an error in the defence for Brecon, which he capitalised on, and the second goal was very well worked. So no, I thought we thoroughly deserved the victory. It was unfortunately a last minute of a wee bit of nerves, which shouldn't really have got into that situation, but we managed to get over that, and as I say, it was a deserved win from my point of view. One that should, bounce back from a defeat, which is exactly what you're looking for, and that's what happened. So very, very pleased that the players responded in that manner. And as I said on Saturday, we done aspects of the game that we didn't do against Forfar. We did the aspects better against Brecon, and that denied Brecon to few opportunities to score. They did have one or two. Lad hits the bar again. That was an error from us where we give the ball away and the lad shot from distance, and it crashes off the bar. But again, even the goal they get, the free kick, two of our players go for the ball. There's a misunderstanding. The ball ricochets and the lad just hits it. It wasn't like we were outplayed or whatever. We were two players going for the same ball, which you don't want, of course. But it was a misunderstanding. But they weren't even competing for the first ball. The ball was going to be cleared. Very, very pleased.
Of course, the man that gets the headlines, Kevin Nisbet, with his 2 goals. The curse of Player of the Month didn't strike there. How impressive was he throughout the entire game?
Yeah, of course. Goals win games. Everyone knows that. That is the key to success in winning games. And Kevin is, we're repeating ourselves most weeks now, and long may that continue. That he's on fire. He's playing with a lot of confidence, and he thinks he's going to score where every opportunity comes his way, and he's almost doing that. He's almost doing that. So, congratulate him on his Player of the Month, and it didn't cause any hiccups for him. It can do in certain circumstances for managers, which you kind of fear that at times. But unfortunately, I was never good enough to get a Player of the Month award, so I can't really tell you how he felt. But it didn't do him any harm, because he went on and scored a couple of goals, and hopefully can continue to do that, doing it to Methil this week.
And obviously, Methil this week, the big derby against East Fife. If you look at games against East Fife in the past, in your first spell here, you had a very good record against them in the promotion season, but obviously that was then. This is now. How tough will this game be against the men from Methil?
Yeah, well, it's second against third in the league, and that would normally suggest it's going to be a tight game and a close game. So 2 each here earlier in the season, pre my time, and Paul Smith coming here before our time, with 2 each. We scored with a couple of penalty kicks. So I think that tells you that it could be a very, very tough game. But we've responded the way we had to respond to the game last week, and we take that renewed confidence into the game against East Fife, who are going along very well. They had a great series of 8, 9, 10 wins, whatever it was. Very good from their point of view, and all the credit's got to go to Darren Young and his players for achieving that. However, they've had a couple of defeats the last couple of weeks, and if there's any sort of hangover there, then we've got to be ready to capitalise on that, and we're looking to go there as we need to do, because we want to keep the pressure on Arbroath, and to do that we need to beat East Fife. East Fife go up to Arbroath last week, and East Fife beat them 1-0. We need to look to beat East Fife this week to keep the pressure on Arbroath. We don't want Arbroath getting any more points advantage on us.
Another aspect or another question about the derby. All derby games, they have that sort of sharp edge. The atmosphere from the stands filters onto the pitch. Sometimes tickets are selling well from the Rovers support. As a coach, do you just look at the performance and the 3 points, or do you take into account the extra noise, the extra pressure that can come with a derby?
Yeah, well, it does come along with it, exactly. And we've, as I said, I had many games in my first time around, and we were fairly successful at that. It's good to have the travelling support there. You know, we will take a lot of fans there, which is great. We want that backing. You know, that will encourage the players. So these things matter a lot, a hell of a lot. So we want the fans to be there and as vocal as they possibly can be, and give the players as much support as they possibly can. We certainly, very grateful for the fans coming along and supporting us. You know, so hopefully we can go and get a win for them.
Yeah, and looking at what might happen on Saturday. I mean, you mentioned to the other press guys that it could be a very similar squad that you put out. What's the overall squad and injury picture?
Grant Gillespie is now 6 weeks past. He's getting, on Saturday it'll be 7 weeks since his injury, which was between 10 and 12. So he is in rehabilitation, has been in rehabilitation for a wee while now. So he's getting closer. He's not training with the team yet, but he's out on the training pitch. He's training with Jim Scanlon, physiotherapist, going through his rehab. So he's getting there. Grant Gillespie is getting there. So the timescale is still on track with that. Lewis Vaughan is this minute in time in Leicester. So just to put everyone in the picture, Lewis had an ankle injury sustained against Arbroath. Yeah. Lewis was getting rehabilitation from Jim for the ankle injury. However, in that course, Lewis's groin area has flared up on the other side from where he had the operation. So Lewis, having had it previously, is getting the same symptoms now. So there lies a problem, and that Lewis is now down there seeing the same specialist who'd done his other one to see if he has to get the other side done. And that would be a massive blow for Lewis, for the football club. So we await the verdict on that, but it's not looking good. So Lewis could be out for a good wee while.
I think frustration is the word that I'm sensing here.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's a shame for the boy. He just got back playing there, and by all accounts, from what I'm led to believe, there's a kind of similar situation with Kevin McCarthy when he was here. Done one side,
that's right, yeah.
Came back, had to get the other side done not long after that. And I've spoken with Lewis, and Lewis has said to me that when he went down to get the operation done, he asked the surgeon to do both sides, and the surgeon wouldn't do it. He said there was no need to do it. So, you know, it's a blow for everyone if he's going to be out for some length of time.
Yeah.
That leaves Chris Duggan. We know that Regan Henry is going to be out for some time as well. We've covered that. That's going to be the 12 weeks or longer. So Chris Duggan is, again, when I came here, he had been playing injured. I was the one who kind of instigated giving him a rest and getting him sorted out. However, his injury has become, you know, much more than any of us understood or appreciated. So he went to see the same specialist that Lewis Boyne's at now. He went to see him last Friday. So he has been getting rehabilitation with Jim Scanlon, Chris. So last Friday, he seen the specialist, and he was given 3 options. The first option was to have an operation. However, the surgeon thought in his case that maybe wasn't the right option, but it was one that could be done. I didn't want to go into any more detail than that. The second option was to continue the rehabilitation for between 6 months and a year. Yeah. And then, if it wasn't right, you could take a steroid injection to the particular point. So the third option was the option which Chris took, which was to have the steroid injection there immediately. And all going well, he sticks to the plan that the specialist has told him. he could be back in 3 weeks,
Right.
which is a positive. So bearing these three options in mind, that could be the best outcome for Chris getting back playing football and for us to have Chris available. So all going well, and it still has to go well. This injection should have him back in around the team for the Queen's Park game.
Always seems to be something with injuries, doesn't it, with the Rovers?
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, and it costs a fortune for these operations, and you know, it's a very, very difficult month for the club. We only have one game in November, and that game's gone, you know, against Brecon last week. You know, it's a very, very difficult month. I think everyone, you know, in the board kind of knew this, and so, you know, these operations are not cheap, and we are not flush with money, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Anyway, final question. It's something that occurred to me just as you were talking to the press guys. You were at the Rovers Hearts League Cup game at Bayview, funnily enough, in the League Cup. Since then, and since taking over, how do you think the Rovers squad, the team, has developed since that day?
Just keep getting injured, unfortunately, you know, and things with nothing we can do about, you know. As I say, when Selling Paul came in here, we inherited the injuries to Grant Gillespie, Chris Duggan, Kieran Wright. Lewis Vaughan had just come back, and unfortunately this is kind of flared up, and Reagan Henry done his knee hitting the ground on the AstroTurf at Forfar, and we know that he's out. So that's a lot of quality to miss out a team. They are the best players, you know, in amongst the best players in this league. All these players. I mean, Grant Gillespie's playing in the Premier League. You know, 2 seasons ago, last season, you know, he's at Dundee United. You know, we've not had the use of him. You know, the other players have, you know, acquitted themselves very well, because without all these players, we're still winning football matches. You know, and that says a lot to the players that are on the pitch and digging in and having to go in that wee bit extra. And that's what we're looking for to do this weekend. So no, we have a lot of quality here. It's just unfortunate that we don't have all the quality available to us. You know, as I said earlier, we showed other qualities to the side of our game last week, which is positive, because you have to have variation in what you can do, and you have to be able to do play different formations and play in a different style, which we did, and that's very, very pleasing. So the players are taking that on board as well. So it's a long way to go.
Exactly. Well, it all starts again on Saturday. Thanks, John, and good luck.
Thank you.